What's up, everybody? Welcome to Studio Wesley Live, our weekly hangout for connection and community in the Studio Wesley universe, I guess. Can I say universe? Studio Wesley universe? I've said it, so here we are. It's good to see everybody, and I can see the panel. It's going to be a really, really good night. We're going to start with some intros and seeing what people are drinking. I'm Derrick, by the way, everybody, and I'm drinking San Pellegrino. I can't even really pronounce this. Aranciata Rosa, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but there we go. That's it. So yes, that's what I'm drinking. So let me start with Grace. How you doing this evening? What are you drinking, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you. I feel like the way that the camera's angled, it looks like I you handed me my drink and then I was like, this is what I'm drinking.
I mean, I feel
Um
like that's what I did. Yes,
so
that's what I did.
and thank you, Derrick, for this fridge cold Coca-Cola in this Yeti koozie that kind of matches my um cherry Coke.
You're
Oh,
welcome. You're welcome.
I do love the Coca-Cola that you offered me. I was also wondering, wouldn't it be more like a metaverse?
Yes, I don't know if there's multiple iterations of Studio Wesley though.
Personal conversation. We'll talk about this
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
have a theory.
We got it. We need to get the nomenclature down so that like we're all on the same page. Neil, how's it, my friend?
Hi. It's going well. I am currently consuming a little bit of what is known as Liquor 43, which is a liqueur made in Spain, comprising of orange, vanilla, a few other botanicals. Just a nice little kind of after lunch thing. You know what I mean? Just hanging. It's even got the Manifest logo on it. Also, new webcam, y'all. So real detailed.
I am liking the webcam because I am liking that I get to see you even clearer than I usually do. My friend. So grateful. Thanks, Neil. Allison, how you doing? What are you drinking?
I am good. I've got a poppy. It's the Doc Pop flavor. I'm a big Dr. Pepper girly. So I was drinking this because it's supposed to be like their version of it. It's pretty good. It's not Dr. Pepper, but it's pretty good, so it's acceptable.
Okay. I used to be a Dr. Pepper guy, and then I kind of got away from soft drinks. The San Pellegrino is like edging back into it, I think, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. So everybody's introduced themselves. Everybody's told us what they're drinking. So now we got to go to highlight of the week. Let's go. Of the week is our regular segment where each of us on the panel shares one highlight that we saw this week in the news. It could be something happening in our neighborhoods. It could be something happening out in the nations, but it is a highlight that we want to bring to the Studio Wesley universe, metaverse. We're going to have to talk about this. So Allison, get us started with your highlight this week.
Yeah, probably no surprise to anyone. It's about Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift.
I was not thinking that you were going to highlight Taylor Swift today.
Not a single bit. Yeah, it's nobody knew ahead of time. It's not known that I love Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift announced a how unexpected. Taylor Swift announced that she is releasing like the full Eras tours, like full version with Tortured Poets Department set included, which is exciting because that all happened after my show that I went to. And then also a docu-series on just the Eras tour itself. And so I'm very excited for that because there were pieces of the show that I said I didn't get to witness because she changed the show a couple of times, like as she was on tour. So there's just things I haven't seen yet. So I'm excited for that. And then I'm also just excited to see some of like the behind the scenes on how the Eras tour worked, because whether you love Taylor Swift or not, it was an incredible show. And there were so many different details and pieces and things that went into it. So I'm just excited to see some of that behind the scenes.
So, am I understanding correctly? There's going to be another tour, and there's going to be a documentary about the Eras tour, or is it just the documentary about the Eras tour?
There's not another tour. There's another release of the footage of the tours, like a movie.
Oh, okay. You're helping me here.
And then a docu-series also about the tour.
Gotcha. So are we gonna go to AMC theaters at some point and just like watch this? Is that what we're doing?
I actually don't know how it's being released. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I just assumed it was on Disney Plus, but
Okay,
I actually have. I think this. I think the docu series is, but I actually have no idea
gotcha.
where you watch.
I just want to I just want to name that if it does release either the footage from the tour or the docu-series, I will commit to this. I will go see that in the theaters. I will go see it if it comes out in AMC theaters. Well, it doesn't have to be AMC theaters either. Like it can be any theater. Like yeah, like I if it's in theaters for like public release like that, you got me. Disney Plus. I mean,
This is why it's a metaverse, is because things like this happen.
Mike, we need to keep
universe. Like I am committing to watching this docu-series or the concert if it releases in just not if I'm home. Like I'm not doing it at my house.
Because you're in this metaverse. There's a Derrick in the other metaverse. I don't know when we jumped it. I guess at like 5:47 maybe. This is a different universe. Anyway, Neil, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike, we need to keep a running tally of all the things that Derrick promises to watch because he's done it 2 weeks in a row now. So far, we're at 2, so we need to hold him to it.
I have not promised anything. I have not promised anything. I did not. I did not promise. We are moving on. Yes, Eras Tour, docuseries. Thank you, Allison. Great highlight. Neil, what's your highlight this week, my friend?
Hello. So I like bookstores, and there is a bookstore here in Jacksonville called Chamberlain's. There are 2 locations. One of them is sort of downtown, which is funny because it's called Chamberlain's Uptown, but I guess most of Jacksonville is south of where downtown is, so makes sense. But there's one near me called the Book Mine, and the Book Mine is the largest bookstore in Jacksonville, and they've been doing this fun thing for October where they call it the Lights Out. So you get like a little scavenger hunt where you have to find like these little props. And half of the store is like all the lights are out, but they have like little lanterns and like fun little decorations. And it's sort of like a family thing. They provide some flashlights. There's a list of things to find, pretty fun stuff. And the other half of the store is lit up, but that's the half that's, I guess, a little bit more boring. That's the half with like the Winston Churchill section and the cooking books and the world economics, and the other half is got all like
called boring. My God!
Hey, listen,
you're gonna diss Winston Churchill readings and cookbooks in the same.
Listen,
you don't care about the right side of my bookshelf, Neil.
Listen, Grace, you know what? You don't get to watch this merch haul I'm going to show you because I went in there and I found me some books in the dark. All right. First of all, I want to show this little book right here called "And a Bottle of Rum." It's a book all about the history of rum through the lens of colonialism and how certain rums from certain islands and areas are the way they are. For example, like who colonized it and what methods they used. The other cool thing I got, oh Lord have mercy, I got a tote bag. It's limited edition. It's got an alien on it. It's pretty sweet. And then. Wow. The last thing I got is a pin, limited edition pin. Let's see here. Oh, I feel like an influencer. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's good stuff, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's my merch haul. Chamberlain's Book Mine. Always try to look for fun things to do in your city from locally owned businesses and stuff. It's good.
Wow, Neil. First of all, Chamberlain's is literally down the road from me, which you're also down the road from me. So what are we talking about right now? And wow, what? Yeah, that's a highlight. I appreciate it. Depending on if I'm in town, I might even like check that out. So we'll see.
Yeah, for those of you Jacksonville locals, it happens Fridays and Saturdays between I think like 6 and 8:30. So if you got some time in the evening and you want to go look for books and stuff in the dark, do it.
Solid, awesome. I'm not promising that. I am not promising that.
Derrick, you're a man of God. You need to say things that you mean.
Okay. I am not promising to go to the scavenger hunt at Champions. Oh, Grace, what's your highlight this week?
So my highlight this week, For those of you who do know, you'll be happy to hear about her again. For those of you who don't know, I did get a cat. Her government name is Cinnamon Coca-Cola Norton Rogers, but her name, like for her friends, is Velcro. And she might be asleep. She is. Okay, I'll lean this way. We can see her right here. Here. Yeah, I got her a cat tree. So that's the highlight, is that Velcro got a cat tree after she had her first vet visit, and she was so good. I feel like I'm just like bragging, when I don't know. I'm just bragging. Like my kid is the best kid. She's so little. When was that? Was that this week?
You're muted, Neil.
Yes, I am. Yes, Grace, that was a couple days ago. I think I sent you all the pictures, maybe, but you'll have to double check if I haven't. Yeah.
Okay. She looked so small in that because she is still so little, but she's growing and she's healthy. And the vet said she did such a good job. But I built her a cat tree. It came in yesterday, so I built it last night. And I'm having such a hard time with this
Enjoying it.
camera.
She's enjoying the cat tree.
She's enjoying the cat tree.
Gosh,
It has so many levels too.
Julian's jealous.
Like she's like
Wow.
calm. Well, send Julian up here, buddy.
I
can't do that. I can't do that, but send him up here.
Lovely, lovely highlight. I hope that you have included the link to the company that you bought the cat tree from, because some of us might want to look into it.
I can do that. I can do that.
Okay.
I did unfortunately purchase it from the Amazon. But I can include the link. The link that I included this time, actually, though, thank you for bringing me back to the link, Derrick, is that this is actually like a peer-reviewed article about cat behavior and why it's important to make sure that your pets have proper enrichment. I mean, it like any domesticated animal, but especially animals that need to be so active.
They do. Right. You're right. I'm crying for other reasons that we won't talk about tonight. So thank you, Grace. Thank you, Velcro. Okay, let me get to my highlight now. My highlight is about a show that is in its third season on Netflix called The Diplomat. Now, friends, if you have not watched The Diplomat, it's time. It is time. Today, when you hear the voice, do not harden your heart, okay? Like, now is the day of salvation, and salvation comes to us through a 3-season show on Netflix called The Diplomat. It is so good. And the article that I shared with you does have some spoilers around it. So if you have not watched the beginning of season 3 because you haven't watched all of season 2, because you haven't watched all of season 1, then I need you to get on that. And I recognize that a lot of you have like class and the responsibilities, bills that you need to pay. I need you to put this up on the priority list. Like, watch The Diplomat. It's so I live in the universe where everyone promises to watch The Diplomat for Derrick. I live in that universe. Thank you very much, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. It's so good. And one of the things that's really, really good, I really love. So obviously, when you see anything, look at the article or whatever, like you'll see there are a lot of women being portrayed in this show having lots of political power, and I just love it. I love the way that this show just images women in political power, many different types of women as well. And I love the way that it really does invite us to ask some questions. I think it invites me to ask these questions about how we respond to women who have political power, who move into places of political power, who you're like, surely they're going to get, they just have to, they're going to get that promotion. And then they don't. You're like, wait, what? Oh, that's right. The real world, that wouldn't happen. Yeah. And so I have so much I can say about The Diplomat. I watched the first 3 episodes last night. I should have slept, but I didn't because it literally just came out like a few days ago. And y'all, the first 3 episodes just had me. So that is my highlight for this week. The Diplomat season 3. Get on it. Move it up the priority list. Send in a doctor's note to your professor so that you can get in on this. Okay. Great. Allison, I think we have a new segment That'll come right after our opening segment around announcements. Am I correct on that? Is that what I heard? Is that on my run sheet today?
That was the layout, the setup, the new thing.
Okay, well, go ahead and give us a few announcements tonight, Allison.
Yeah, well, I actually have one. I don't have a few for you, so I hope that's not
give us one announcement, Allison, please.
Yeah. I just want to announce community groups. So we have community group every Sunday, right after Studio Wesley Live. I say right after because it's at 6:45. So obviously, there's a couple of minutes delay. But 6:45 every Sunday, just a place for us to come together as a community and hang out. There's talking about your week. There's some learning times. There's just a prayer request, all the things for us to be together in one space. So if you'd love to join us, you can just send us a message and we can talk about how to get you in that room. And it would be great to have you there.
Oh, fantastic. The community group is always a good time. So I hope folks will jump in and be a part of it. If you can't come this week, it'll be going next week, but you want to go this week, definitely. So thanks, Allison, for that announcement. We had great highlights. We had a great announcement. And now we're headed to one of our recurring segments called Story Time. All right, so we are about to hear a story from our producer in the back of the stage named Michael. Michael, tell everybody hi. Tell everyone that you said, oh, what am I doing? Michael, say hi to everyone. That's
hi, everyone. I will also tell you that I'm saying hi currently, as Derrick asked me to. I got a doozy for us today. This one I just need you guys to know that I got down a rabbit hole today. Like, okay. I was watching videos on this story. I was like piecing things together. I was full on Sherlock Holmes in it with this story because it didn't make sense, and then I wanted to timeline it out. Anyways, it's a whole hell of a lot of stuff. So, I think the best chance for us today is if I kind of break it down in pieces and we react as we go, which also will be a lot of fun. So we're going to start with the title. This was posted on a thread called Am I Overreacting? And the title is Am I Overreacting? Church is requesting for my husband's Black Lives Matter video to be taken down. So that's the sort of basis from where we're going. I see some initial thoughts. Anybody would want to share those off the top of their head?
I actually think we need to go in. We need to go to some details because this could go in any direction right now. So let's go with some story.
Totally. Okay, so we start off with some backstory. Now, this post was made by you're gonna hear basically you see it in the title, OP's husband. This is centers largely around OP's husband's actions, but compelling nonetheless that OP's wife is the one posting the story, right? So she provides backstory first. This backstory doesn't have much to do with the story, but I think I wanted to share it anyway. So it's very vague backstory that I tried doing research on and could not find anything. Her backstory says, 2 months ago, I shared here on Reddit that we had an issue with a church member. We received overwhelming support, and I finally blocked the person. I deleted the post because certain Christians messaged me saying it's wrong to talk about church issues in public. I disagree, but I was tired of the messages, so I deleted the video. So immediate impulses on this question I thought we could maybe answer right away. Talking about church issues in public.
Well, go ahead, Grace. Yeah.
I still feel like we don't have enough context because, like, on one hand, like, please don't air whatever dirty laundry. Like, don't air like your interpersonal spats with people at church on social media. Like, let's not do that. But also, like, is this somebody calling like an actually horrible thing happening? Just like church drama that's going on the internet, because those are two wildly different things.
Yeah. Anybody else got a thought on this? I agree with you, Grace. So I feel like you're asking me to like do the whole research paper, and you've only given me like.
I know. I just want to know our impulse, and then we can back it up after that.
I'll just say that I despise the ways that social media takes the things that we share and plugs it into the algorithm and it creates a whole thing around it that whether it's like a good thing or not a good thing to like post that stuff in social media, it takes that thing and it pushes it out into a larger world that has even less context than we do.
Yep.
Like people will read this post with less context than we currently have right now. We have done. So it turns it into a whole thing, and people can now give their opinion about a thing that's like not even there. It's like you can keep going, Michael.
Sure. Okay, here we go. So I've pieced together what I believe to be the timeline. I'm also not calling myself accurate necessarily because it was very sort of like convoluted. So anybody listening, don't take my timeline to heart. It's more so a suggestion for understanding.
Okay.
So the timeline, as I understand it, OP's husband led a youth group talk about Black Lives Matter that included a shared post about a congregation member he did not agree with. So I watched the video of this, of the youth group talk. So in that, here's a direct quote. So what happened was a church member of the church they were going to at the time made a post of an article where a Guatemalan man was stabbed in a robbery. And their caption for that post said, "Where's the support for the Hispanics? Just how they support the Black delinquents." That was their caption. And so this was brought up in discussion with OP's husband at a youth group's sort of setting virtually. And the OP's husband made the following statement. We're not supporting delinquents. We are supporting a movement that is important and personal to us for a community that has been oppressed for many years. We are not supporting delinquents. We are supporting our brothers in Christ. If this topic doesn't interest you, I hope it's because of ignorance. If this topic bores you, my brother, I feel sad for you because you don't know the love of God. So that was the statement that OP's husband made in response to that post. Shortly thereafter, the pastor of the church, in a sermon that I also watched, the pastor of the church made the following statement. This is I think like a month or two later. He says, "I understand about Black Matters. I understand it very well, but Black Matters is not as strong as Jesus Matters. Those are two very different things. I'm more interested in Jesus than society." So, step 3, OP's husband makes a video in response to that, summarizing all this. And in that video, he kind of ends the video disagreeing with the pastor on the basis that you can't love Jesus without loving your neighbor. And now I've got some comments on the video. The comments to the second video, right? Okay, we're all hanging in there.
I'm following.
Okay. So here's some comments on the video, and some of it's like back and forth, right? Because that's how social media works. So I'll give that too. So first comment, did the pastor do something wrong? All he said was that people should emphasize Jesus more. Another comment said, the least wrong thing he did was shut down something that the youth were working on. He's also ignorant when he says he gets it and then refers to it as Black Matters. Sadly, it's not just him because as it was shown on the video, a church member also posted on Facebook saying, "Where's the support for Hispanics? Just how you all support Black delinquents." To which there was a return comment that said, if a pastor would get fired every time he opposes an idea from the congregation, then there would be no pastors. Another return comment, well, I never said that this person should be fired, but if a church does not support movements that promote love, then what's the point? To which somebody responded, saying that Jesus matters is not promoting love, ? Then we've got another comment that says, yes, let's focus entirely on Jesus and ignore the fact that people are suffering. We get a return comment, everyone suffers, that's just reality. A return comment sounding a lot like the All Lives Matter crowd. Then a response, please don't make accusations that can ruin people's lives. Response, whose life is going to ruin? You're anonymous, and the pastor said this on a live stream and he's still employed. I don't think his congregation or his conference cares. And then one more response, disagreeing is one thing, but suggesting a person has a certain prejudice does have consequences. If this is the point of the video, then it needs to be removed. So the wife shares all this context and she kind of wraps it up saying, Please don't misinterpret our intentions. We want unbiased opinions on this. If we are wrong, my husband will gladly remove the video. In summary, it is obvious that some people are suggesting that my husband's video can be misinterpreted as, quote, this church pastor is racist, end quote. We think this is ridiculous and being misrepresented in order to retaliate against him. And then one more email we got. Good morning. Over the weekend, we were informed about a video that you shared regarding one of our pastors. Myself and others have concluded that your message could be misinterpreted to present this pastor as something he is not. Due to this, we are requesting for the video to be removed. As Christians, we need to strive to be better than this. We hope you can cooperate with us in this request. So then the wife asks, am I overreacting?
Allison, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think she's overreacting. I don't even know how to form thoughts on that right now. I know that there were lots of like comments that my brain literally went, well, that's not loving thy neighbor, over and over and over again. Like I just kept being like, because here's the thing. Like my Jesus teaches me to love my neighbor, and my Jesus is a social worker, and my Jesus believes in social justice, and none of those things align with the, I don't know what you would call the non-OP, the pastor, and the comments that were like fighting, that were on the pastor's side and all the things. And I'm like, none of that aligns with what my Jesus is like. So I don't think she's overreacting, because I think that Jesus is in support of all of those things.
Yeah.
Important additional context. By the time this last exchange in the comments and everything is happening, OP and her husband have left that church. So all this fight is happening after they've left that church. Okay, now I'll step.
Neil, what are you thinking?
Man, every time folks decide to air dirty laundry things out in public, it always gets messy. I do not think she is overreacting, but I do feel like some of this probably just could have been solved behind closed doors. While I do, however, respect the whole like, well, let me ask other people's opinions. Going to the internet for people's opinions on things is an absolute like, it could be a nightmare. It's like walking through a landmine, or like a minefield. That's the word. It's like walking through a minefield in the dark with a blindfold on, right? Like, like you're gonna get everything from people being very supportive to, other folks being not so supportive, right? And I get it, you're asking for like honest opinions, but sometimes opinions I think are just wrong. You know what I mean? It's like some of this could have been solved by some, pulling someone aside and being, hey, let's talk about this. You know what I mean? But no, I don't think she was overreacting. I think things got escalated to a point where her reaction is fairly appropriate, and for them to leave afterwards is also fairly appropriate, I think. But yeah, man, it's just messy. It's just messy.
Yeah. Grace, what are your thoughts?
Messy. Like, that's honestly, that was my like first thought. It was just like, this is too messy. I can't keep track of what's happening, because so much was happening. But like, so it did make more sense that they'd left the church, because if these were people that were still in the church, like still at that specific church, then like that, I feel like there's like an ounce of like, maybe you shouldn't be like posting these videos if this is like a pastor that you like still respect, like you're still going to his church, like you're still like doing these things. But then they left the church because they were upset about something. And so it makes sense that because they're upset about the thing, they're going to talk about it. Yeah. And because it's such an important thing, because like, right, it's not Black Matters, it's Black Lives Matter. And they do. and that can be a point blank thing. It doesn't have to be the all, you know, like all of that. Like that is what I agree with, but also like that is what these people agree with, and so it makes absolute sense that they would respond in this way. I don't think that they're overreacting at all. Like this is an important thing to talk about, especially when like the church has such a rich history in perpetrating these things as well. So like good on them. Honestly, I find that hilarious every time something happens and then the husband is like, "Okay, well I guess I have to make another video because we still don't get it."
Mhm.
So,
Man, oh, I have so many thoughts. I mean, I do not think this is the right forum for what is trying to happen, but I also empathize with the desire to really move people along a justice journey. And sometimes one of the tools in the toolkit of moving groups of people on the journey is sort of the public forum of it all. It's one tool, it's not the only tool. And it can be quite effective in helping groups of people see that there are lots of other individuals that are like-minded who see what you know, the person who posted, like, or OP's husband, like there are people just like us who think this is actually really important, and so let's pay attention. Ah, I don't think she's overreacting. I just wish that we would consider if this is the right form, if this is the right tool, if this is the right way. That's the thing that I'm not sure about. But also, pastors, we will always be held accountable for the things that we say, and that I can't. I can't, like. I want to be like, oh man, I don't know if you asked to have your sermon live streamed and then anybody from anywhere, close or not close, then sort of respond. Actually, you did ask for that. That's exactly what you asked for. So even the idea that we would want to shut down the comments, like on your page for sure, but like people get to say what they want to say about what you're putting out into the world. That's what we say yes to. And I put myself in that category. And I hate this stuff. Like I hate my words getting out there in like forms that I didn't ask for. But I'm a public figure as a pastoral presence in the world that I live in. And so yeah, this is where we are. And so no, I don't think she's overreacting. And I actually think that our pastor and that church need to buck up. If you don't want your words going out into the universe, then don't put them out there. Allison, you unmuted a moment ago, so
yeah. I just want. Can I speak on the platform piece a little bit?
yes.
Because I feel like it's what's hard about a platform, and like when do we put this kind of stuff out in the public, right? Because I feel like there are some people who always voice this stuff no matter what. They're just like, this thing happened, I want the world to know. But there are other people who, when all else fails, put it on a public platform like social media. And so like I don't know if we have enough context to know how much was happening inside the church before they stepped into the social media spaces with it, unless I missed that context being given. But I wonder too, like I sit so like back and forth with like using social media for things like this, because I'm like, what if they tried other things and nothing happened, and here we are, and they're like, I'm going to make it bigger on social media because something has to happen.
Yeah.
What I can say that I found was that, according to OP, the wife of, whose husband made the videos, when the first video came out of him discussing with these younger people about Black Lives Matter, that was a well-received video in the church. Like people were commenting, being like, "We should do more of these talks. This is great," etc. So that's the one bit of sort of context I have, is when they made that, it was well received, according to OP, right?
So maybe I'll just say this, particularly as it relates to the church. Allison, were you about to respond to that?
I think all I was going to add was just that, like, I think that social media can be an incredible tool
Yeah.
when it comes to social justice if we're using it in a way that is productive.
Yeah.
And I want to keep that in mind as we're like talking about like the platform and
It
what
is
this
a tool in the toolkit for sure. For sure. So let me just end this segment and just say this stuff is also really hard. We live in a world right now that we know more about people than we've ever known. And I don't know if we actually have the like psychological equipment to contain all of that. Nothing to say that we're not, smart enough or not generous enough. Like I literally don't know if we were designed to know this much about people. And so part of what's really hard is to have to wrestle with like the fact that some people do not think that the Black Lives Matter movement was is or was a legitimate movement. And people that we love, people that we even have respect for, then like, I don't know if I think queer folks should have full rights in a denomination or should be able to marry who they love. Like there are people that we love that do believe these things. And we got to be both gentle with ourselves and that's what's hard, kind of gentle with those that we disagree with, because y'all, at base, we probably don't even know how to file that information away and when it's most appropriate to bring that knowledge to the table. And so I just say like this is just really hard. And I can't imagine how tough this had to be for OP and her husband, but also even for folks inside the church or probably with somebody in the church like, can't we all just love each other? And I'm like, if we all get off Facebook, then we can. And so I just want to name that this is really, really hard. And so with that, I want to invite us to take a soul break, to breathe for about 30 seconds, and then we'll come back and finish up for tonight. So been slowly making my way through the Gospel of John with some friends at Campus of the City. Shout out to Addison, shout out to Taylor. And this week we're reading John chapter 12 and 13. And I'm just pretty captured by all of the scenes in those passages. There's a verse that's sort of I've been sitting on because I just think that there's a lot more in it than we often might give it credit. In fact, I think we often might pass over it. And I really want to bring it to us tonight as we're closing Studio Wesley Live. It's John chapter 13, verse 1. And the text says, before the festival of Passover, Jesus knew that his time had come to leave the world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them fully. And other translations say, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And I think like folks would read that and just immediately, all right, verse 2. And I'm like, no, actually, as a person who actually doesn't talk a lot about love, doesn't talk a lot about the, emotional, affectionate stuff, I was sort of stopped dead in my tracks on this and could not move on because I realized, one, right before this, are these acts of love that happen. Particularly, there's an action of love by Mary, who is the sister of Lazarus, who washes Jesus' feet with really expensive perfume. But then what is coming, and we know that John is starting to foreshadow what is this love them fully. It is going to be Jesus giving his life for the sake of the world. But again, I couldn't even do that thing of well, there's that sacrifice over there. Well, we're going to talk about Jesus. I got stuck on and he loved them fully. And I asked the question of myself, and I invite you all to possibly ask this question too. Are there people out there that I am willing to love fully? Love to the end. And this is not a call for martyrdom. That's not it at all. Like, it's actually a call about like how we're actually living in this world and how we are engaging each other. In some respects, it's the story time that we just had. In other respects, it's things even that are happening in families. Like, what does it mean to love people to the end, to love them fully? I do think that it means there are actions that we have to take. I think about some folks who this weekend participated in No Kings rallies across the country, and some folks even outside the United States. And there's a lot of reasons why people are participating in that rally. And yes, I'm getting political. It is what it is. We'll be okay. But I'll tell you, I know that some very specific people, the reason why they participated in the No Kings rally is because people that they love are being harmed, are living in fear. And I just want to stop there. I actually don't want to take it beyond this. I just want to stop here. People that they love feel like they are being targeted. They are afraid to leave their homes. And so my friends, in support of their friends, they went to those protests. I don't know what the action is for you. My actions actually are quite different. Me, Derrick, loving someone fully, being for them, standing with them, in solidarity with them, even in the roughest moments of their suffering. It looks different for me, but gosh, it's got to look some kind of way. I am challenged that the text says that Jesus loved them fully. Jesus loved them to the end. And the challenge, yes, the challenge that I am sending out mostly to college-aged young adults is to be really, really thoughtful about who you say you love. And what does it mean to love them fully? And no, I'm not just talking about romance. Gosh, I hope you know that I'm not talking about romance. I'm not just talking about best friends forever, even. I'm literally talking about people that you would say, I love them. I love them. I acknowledge their humanity. I respect their dignity. Okay, you say you love them. Can you love them to the end? Can you love them fully? And if that is true, what does that mean for you? I want to invite you into that challenge. And I'll tell you why I want to invite you into that challenge. Because the world needs it. The world needs some people who are not just saying, I love you, love you much, smooches. No, the world actually needs some people that when we say we love you, we are willing to love you fully. It may not be going to a No Kings protest. There's some of y'all is like, it is definitely not going to a No Kings protest. It may not be financial, but it has to be something, some action. And so on behalf of the world, I'm asking those who are watching tonight, and those who are watching later on, love fully, because those actions will change the world. All right, friends, we've had a great night. In fact, we went over. This is the first time Studio Wesley Live has actually gone over our time limit. Sorry, Allison. We're about to get out of here. So, Allison, Neil, Grace, thank you so much. What a great night. Great discussions, highlights, and announcements, story time. And friends, just know that you're deeply loved by God and nothing could ever separate you from God's love. We'll be back next week, 6 p.m. Eastern for Studio Wesley Live. Friends, have a good night. We'll see you.